So here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about being a pro. Right now they had all the rookie camps in the NFL. The difference between the guys that are going to make a roster and the guys that aren't going to make a roster has everything to do with the stuff I'm going to talk about today. The guys that will either be first and second round draft pick that makes it big, and then the ones that turn out to be, they make the top 10 list of biggest flops. The stuff I'm talking about. Granted, it's not the same exact thing, right? Because it's two different activities, but it's the same principle. It's the same principle. It's called being a professional. If I've tried to hammer anything into my kids, this is one of the things I've tried to hammer into my kids. Be a professional. So take this, write this down, post this in your group chats, tell everybody that this is what I'm about to say is as true as gravity. It's as true as gravity. Here's what I'm about to tell you. You train the world how to treat you. I'll say it again. You train the world how to treat you. This is why so many people fail in this business, because they train the world to treat them as a non-professional. They train the world to treat them as a low performer. The things they do, the way they show up. I'm just telling you, you train the world on how to treat you. I had a fantastic conversation with my daughter the other day about this. Because she takes herself serious. She dresses like an adult. She's 14. She dresses like a professional person. You would think that she's in the C-suite somewhere at some corporation. The way she carries herself. And we were having this conversation. She's like, Dad, you're so right. When I dress like this, everybody treats me different. Everybody treats me different. I'm like, yep, that's how it works, baby. If you train the world how to treat you, if you show up like a professional, people will treat you like a professional. If you show up sloppy, people are going to treat you like you don't matter. You say, oh, I matter, Stephen. Okay, I'm with you. I know you matter. But here's the thing: that's just you and me, right? I know you matter. You know you matter. But the rest of the world don't care. You train the world how to treat you. So I'm going to hit you with 4 basic blocks that we're going to build on this. All right. The first is environmental integrity. The environment in which you work is everything about how well you will work. You hear the common refrain, like messy desk, messy mind. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's one of the reasons I hate to tell my secrets because then I can't use them. It's one of the reasons I like to have people pick me up in their car when I fly from the airport. Could I 100% just have a car service? Yeah, 100%. I want to see their vehicles. Why? Because if you take yourself seriously, you have a clean vehicle. If you're a professional, you don't have a bunch of crap in your car. If you're a professional, your car is clean and in order. And it's like the same principle, right? Messy desk, messy mind. Car full of crap, mind full of crap. So what's the principle when it comes to working? Well, we apply this by the environment that we work in. And I know you can't see my environment, but professionals craft their environment. Professionals don't have crap everywhere on their desk. Dear God, I was trying to coach a young man one time, and I just, was just like, what is missing with him? So I fly up to do a meeting, and I say, hey, let's run by your house real quick. I want to see where you live. Dude, he just had crap everywhere where he was working. I was like, yep, that's what it is. There it is. That's why he can't get anything done. That's why his follow through sucks. That's why no one takes him serious, because he's not taking himself serious. If you don't take yourself serious, you cannot be upset when the rest of the world doesn't. Dear God, I see it all the time. I'll talk about dressing a little bit. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's continue with this. Messy desk, messy mind. Clean desk, orderly desk. I was so proud of Brandy in our office, where she quoted me saying, if you have more than 7 things on your desk, you have too many things on your desk. Yeah, you can't. I'll show you the psychological studies on it. You cannot have a bunch of crap on your desk. And I know everybody's got messy desks. I've got a system. Okay, if your system was working, I would be recognizing your paychecks and production at a higher level. Think about this. If your system is working, the results should be there. Judge a system by its fruitage. So I get it when people push back and say, well, I've got a system. I hear you and I believe you. The problem is there's no fruitage with that system. Messy desk, messy mind. You cannot get around it. You cannot get around it. But we want to go further than just messy desk, messy mind. You also want to craft your environment. Have stuff around you that builds belief, that causes love to flow, that makes you want to be pure of heart, that makes you want to try harder, that makes you want to get better. I have a couple of favorite pictures of my kids, and that when I see those pictures, I want to be better. I want to be better. I want to be pure of heart. I want to be a better example. I want to be better at the business. And so craft your environment, positive messages, things like that. But now let's not get crazy. Because again, clutter in, clutter out. Clutter in, clutter out. I'm telling you. And you can look at it on reports. Like when people have bad persistency, like they have a lot of policies that cancel, I promise you their work environment's chaotic. That's why they forget to do stuff, because it's a chaotic mess. So messy desk, messy mind. Environmental integrity. Just remember that. Environmental integrity. Here's the question. What does my environment say about me? Now we say, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I hear you, but your environment is a product of you. Your environment is a product of you. What does the environment say about you? So environmental integrity, number one principle. This is one of the biggest differences between high performers and low performers. All right, number two, we got our environment. We got our environmental integrity together. We're orderly, we're crisp, we're clean. We've got stuff around us to help us want to be successful, want to be a better person. Second thing, dress for success. What you wear on the outside speaks to the world about who you are on the inside. And you say, well, I don't need that. I know that I am pure in heart. Okay, I hear you. And I believe you. But the problem is the rest of the world don't care. The rest of the world don't care. If you show up sloppy, they're going to treat you like you don't matter. Dress for success. There's this thing in today's world that is so indicative of low performance and mediocrity. It's this pajama culture. This is what I was talking about. Tomorrow, like I'll be sitting in the front of the plane, but I'm just telling you, I try, because it drives me crazy. I try not to look at people as they're walking, because I'm like, why would you dress like that in public? What is wrong with you? Like, don't be surprised that the rest of the world doesn't take you serious. You train the world how to treat you. So the environment is number one. Number two is you showing up clean, crisp, dressing like it matters. Now, I'm not talking about having to wear a suit and tie. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, are you showing up crisp? Or, like this, yeah, I'm going to go here. I don't care. Low performers, when they get on the phone to start doing their sales, to start booking their appointments, half of them ain't even brush their teeth. They're just rolling into their day. Hair's a mess, still in their pajamas. And they wonder why they have a hard time closing deals or booking appointments. And you say, but they can't see that on the phone, Stephen. I agree. But here's the thing. It's all about internal integrity. You can't act like you don't matter and get people to treat you like you matter. Act like you matter, because you do matter. Show up at all times. Like show up so that if you're doing a sale or booking an appointment and they say, hey, I want to do this over video conference, that you would have to make 0 changes. What do they call it? Camera ready, right? Camera ready. That if they said, send me a Zoom link right now so we can close this deal, you do it without having to think twice. without having to think twice. Dress for success. Dress like you are important and the world will think you're important. And when you're, you're, I was going to say clean shaven, but I have a beard, but you know what I'm saying? Like trimmed up, hairs and, when you're like that, well, makeup, if you're, if you're a lady and that's what you do, or whatever. What I'm saying is if you put your best version of you into your work every day, from an appearance standpoint, you are going to perform better. I can show you psychological study after psychological study after psychological study. We behave different when we show up better. That's just how we are. It's just how we are. So don't get sucked into the pajama culture of this world around us. Show up like you matter. Show up crisp. Show up clean. Hey, even show up early. It's so crazy. I can look at a leaderboard and know who shows up in a professional way, and I can look at leaderboards and I can point who didn't show up professionally this week. Right? Previous time they did it, this week they were kind of slack about it. You can see it in the numbers. You can see it in the numbers. You can't get around it. So dress like it matters. I don't care if you're never going to see another soul that day. Dress like it matters. All right. Now, third thing, professional versus passive. Shifting from customer service to closer. Be a closer. Be someone that controls outcomes. You say, well, Stephen, you said I can't control. I hear you. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to do everything in my power, both from a verbal, mental, emotional, and physical standpoint, to ensure and influence the outcome I want. It's a different posture. And I've been on both sides of it. You've been on both sides of it. The point of bringing it up is for you and I to stay on the right side more, right? When you're on fire and you are absolutely closing, when you do that, you're a different person than on the weeks where you just can't seem to get anybody to follow through on anything. What happens? We drift from professional to passive. We got to get back to professional. Take charge. You're in charge. Do not let a client be in charge. You're in charge. If they could be in charge, they would have already taken care of this. Be in charge so that they don't end up on GoFundMe.com. Take control. Take charge. Be in charge. Be a professional. When you take that posture, can you see how, by the way, can you see how each of these build on each other? You got to start with the right environment. You got to show up professionally. Now we're taking charge. Now we're taking charge. Be in charge. You're in charge. The client needs you to be in charge. If they were going to take care of this by themselves, be it getting a trust in place, be it moving safe money to an annuity where it's actually safe, to getting life insurance, to starting an IUL, if they could be trusted to do it themselves, they would have already done it. Be a professional. Be a professional. Direct them to the outcome that you want. Direct them to the outcome that they need. Be a professional. Here. I'm write this down. Right. Care enough to be firm. Care enough to be firm. You hear me say this in sales training. Don't be so afraid of missing the sale that you miss the sale, because that's what most people do. Most people miss sales because they're terrified of missing the sale. Be in charge. If you're going to get a no, let it be an obstinate no, not a soft no. If you're going to get a no, let it be an obstinate no. I'm not getting life insurance. I don't give a rip. My kids can deal with it. My goofy face is going on GoFundMe.com. By God, I don't care. If you're going to get a no, get an obstinate no. Don't get a soft no. God, that's like people that barely get fired. Blows my mind. If you don't get fired, get fired. Make them write a rule with your name on it. Does that make sense? So don't be passive. If you drift to passive, drift back to professional. Drift to passive, drift to passive, rather, pull yourself back to professional. All right, last thing, number 4. Big difference. Big difference. So they all build, right? We got the environment. We've got our dress. We're in good shape. We're in the zone. Now we need to protect. Elite elite performers in anything protect their time with violent zeal. They protect their time. They don't let people message them and call them and break in on their time. They don't drift by taking 5 minutes or just, it'll take just a minute. I'm just going to scroll social media real quick. I'm just going to scroll real quick. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to, while I'm out here, I'm going to do these dishes real quick. Well, I'm going to, when you're supposed to be about something, be about that something and nothing else. When the calendar says this is what I'm doing from this hour to this hour, be about it, be about nothing else. Nothing else. I don't care what's going on in the world around you. I don't care if it doesn't matter. When you're supposed to be hammering the phones, by God, hammer the phones. Hammer the phones like it matters. Hammer the phones like if you don't, you will lose everything immediately after that dial session. And by the way, when you think about the rookies that are going to make rosters in the NFL, they hit every practice like it's the last practice they're going to get to have. Those are the ones that make the rosters. The ones that don't make the rosters, they don't hit every practice like it's the last practice they're going to get to have. Hit every session like it's the last session that you're going to have. Build. When you're building, build like by the end of the week, whatever you've built by then, that's all that you're ever going to be able to have. Whatever your financial future will hold has to be built on what you find this week. When you attack it with that kind of zeal and you don't let stuff creep in and you don't let mama, the neighbor, the cat, the dog, the governor, when you don't let that stuff get into your space, when you are supposed to be performing, you perform at a high level. All right, let's put our 4 pieces back together as we wind the call down. And Chan, if you would put a message on the Discord, just remind everybody the leaders will get together. All right. So we start with environmental integrity, an environment that will produce results, an environment that will help us to have a clear mind, an environment that makes us want to be a better person. Number 2, we're going to dress for success. We're not going to stumble in 5 minutes late. You can tell a lot about someone's future prospects based on how they show up to a dial jam. We're going to show up crisp. We're going to show up dressed. We're going to show up like it matters. Then the third thing we're going to do, we are going to be professional, not passive. We're the financial professional. We're in charge. We will direct the conversation the way that we want the conversation to go for the outcome that the client needs, but we will be in charge and we will direct that conversation. And then the last thing, we're not letting anybody, and I mean anybody, infect our time blocks that we've committed. Nothing else matters. When you are in that time block, nothing else matters. Hit it like it matters. One of the biggest things that low performers don't understand is their casualness about everything is the reason that they never get the results they want. They wander around, they switch from company to company, and they just can't, it's your casualness about things. And just so you understand, I get it. I think just like you think. I want to be the exception to these rules. I want to think I'm special. And by the way, I'd love to show up in my jammies and do whatever I want, whenever I want, at the pace I want to do it, and get unlimited results. I'm with you. But the problem is there's certain universal laws and principles that you and I can't get around. So instead of arguing with them, excuse me, instead of debating, instead of negotiating, low performers, they love to try and negotiate stuff like this. They love to try and negotiate. They'll negotiate with success principles all day. As for you and me, let's just lean into it. Whether or not we lean into it, these are universal principles that are true. So let's just lean into it. Let's lean into it. Let's you and me be the kind of people that go out there and make big things happen. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you can possibly understand. We've got the Portugal trip to win. You've got the Portugal trip to win. You need to be in Portugal with your significant other and me and Holly and all the top people. You need to be there with us. Let's get it done. Get your ticket. Go to theallianceevents.com for our family reunion event. It's our summer leadership event. In case you wonder why do they call it family reunion, because every year we'd be like, this feels like a family reunion. And finally, like, let's just call it that, right? Everybody's family reunion is in the summer anyway, right? So we're getting the whole team together all across the country coming into our Burlington, North Carolina campus. Get your ticket, be there. Guys, I'm telling you, we have so much crazy momentum. I read the stuff off what happened in April. It's been killing me to get to this call. I'm so excited. Best month in over 13 years. Let's go. Let's go. Now's the time. Let's get out. Let's get after it.